Hi friends, and welcome to Ouroboros Tarot. Today's pick a card reading is looking into how your person is feeling. And I have 4 piles for you guys to choose from today. Pile 1, pile 2, pile 3, and pile 4. Go ahead and pause this video if you need to. Take as much time as you need to find the pile that sits right with your energy as well as with your person's. And I will see you in a minute. Hi pile 1, and welcome to your reading. We're looking into how your person is currently feeling about you. And before we get into it, we're going to first look into the current energy that is currently surrounding the two of you. Just so that we'll have a better understanding of what's happening. You'll have a better understanding as well when it comes to whether or not this is your pile. So yeah, let's go ahead and get started. So when it comes to your current energy, we have number 26, listen. We have Venus undone. We have success, expel, and we have Cobra. Okay, so what is the current energy? So pile 1, I get the feeling that this is a connection that has really inspired the two of you in some sort of way. Like it's woken you up to something that was within you, that has always been within you, that you didn't realize you were capable of having. I sense that this is a connection that has really opened up both of yours heart spaces. But there's kind of like, there's this energy here as well that kind of indicates that there's some stagnancy here. Like, and I think with this stagnancy comes a little bit of confusion or disorientation, most specifically on your end, but also, in all honesty, on your person's end as well. Like, I feel like you may very well be currently really trying to get more so in touch with your intuition, trying to understand why you feel so drawn to this connection or why you feel so strongly toward this person. I get the feeling that you might be doubting yourself currently when it comes to what it is that you thought was the truth of this connection. There's doubt here now. And I sense that you're trying to re-evaluate or reground yourself so that you can understand the truth a little bit better. Things have gotten a little murky, especially on your end. I do think though that there's similar feelings on your person's end, or a similar perspective on your person's end when it comes to this stagnancy. However, I don't necessarily feel as though your person is really in a state currently of like trying to really hone in on their intuition. What I'm sensing more so of is a person who is putting their energy toward this connection in a way that might not seem as though they're doing that. And what I mean by that is that it feels like your person is really keeping a watchful eye, is really being observant currently, in order to know when the time is right for something in particular for this relationship, for this connection. And I don't know if they necessarily are under the same impression that you are when it comes to how stagnant this connection has become. It feels more so like perhaps the time, like the perspective of time that is going on within this connection is skewed between the two of you, where it feels to you as though there's been a lot of time that's passing, whereas for this person it feels like time is passing much more slowly. I do feel like there is, and I think intuitively you more than likely are picking up on this as well, but it feels like there is a reason as to why this connection has kind of reached a point of stillness. And I sense that it has to do with some beliefs within yourself as well as some beliefs within this person that are kind of holding the both of you back from allowing, like it's like your heart space has been opened. Both of your heart spaces have been opened to this connection, and there's a lot of desire, and there's a lot of magnetic, I was gonna say like magnecy, but that's not a word. There's a lot of like, I hope you understand what I'm saying. Like it feels like there's a lot of pull for the both of you towards one another, and I don't sense that this is something that you can close off just very easily. Like now that this has been opened up, it feels like it's going to be very difficult for you or this person to kind of close your heart space off to what it is that you've been feeling. But at the same time, there's fears here that are holding you and your person back from really going all in. Yeah, that's what I'm sensing. So if that has resonated for you, if this sounds like you and your person and what's currently going on between the two of you, let's go ahead and look into how your person is feeling. I do feel also like there's this, especially with this listen card, now that I'm looking at it more closely, I feel like there is this desire within you, like you may be manifesting something, like you may be wanting what you want to come to you rather than you chasing after it. And I sense that there may be offers that are, like for some of you, there may be other people that are giving you offers of what it is that you want with this person. And I sense that you are, if that resonates, you are kind of turning your back on those other offers. Because I feel like intuitively, and this goes for all of you, intuitively it feels like you can feel the connection and the pull that this person has that is actively pulling on you. Like you're aware that this person is also seeking you in a way. Okay. So let's go ahead and get into how they are currently feeling. Okay, Spirit, we're looking into pile 1 and their person. How is pile 1 and their person, how is pile 1's person currently feeling about pile 1? What are their current feelings towards pile 1? Okay, so we have the Magician reversed. We have the Ace of Wands, the 10 of Pentacles, we have the 4 of Wands, and we have the Knight of Pentacles. Okay, bottom of the deck is the 2 of Cups. Okay, so what are their current feelings towards you? This overall is a very positive spread, pile 1. I'm just gonna put that there. I get the feeling that when it comes to how your person is feeling about you, they definitely have had that moment of inspiration as well. This realization that perhaps there was another path that they can take in life that was currently or in the past, it was something that was left in the dark and they had no idea it existed. And it feels like by having met you or by having moved this connection to a deeper level, whatever the case may be, something about you has kind of lit a new path for this person that they didn't know existed. And I feel like for some of you, this person may not ever have been somebody who has really thought in terms of, has not really lived, I guess, in the sense of making decisions or thinking long term in the future, making decisions for the future. And they see a long-term future with you. There's a lot of potential here that they're feeling. There's a lot of desire here. I would say that there's longing. And yet at the same time, there is a lot of feeling inadequate. There's feelings of inadequacy here on your person's end. And I don't necessarily feel as though this has to do with them not feeling good enough. It's more so like there are other things that they find are really important for them to tend to currently. And I sense that they're under the impression that if they don't tend to these pressing matters within themselves, this future that they see will never actually get its roots. There's a strong desire here to take things very slowly. Whereas I was picking up on a feeling of impatience almost on your end. On this person's end, it's not there. And I almost kind of wonder if this person doesn't necessarily know. I don't know if this person is aware of the concerns that you potentially have. I think this person is really feeling optimistic and is looking forward to something with you. Yeah. Let's get some more information. What deck do I want to use? Let's use this one. Okay. So, bottom of the deck is impatience. We were just talking about that. But let's keep going. So, Spirit, is there anything that I've missed? What is it that I've missed when it comes to how this person is currently feeling? What is it that I've missed? Okay, so we have Destiny. What is it that I've missed when it comes to... Okay, we have Vanity, Completion, Discovery, Rejection, and then on the bottom of the deck we have Faith. Okay, so what is this person currently feeling? I get the feeling with this rejection card, if we look at this image, I see an artist, right? And it looks like they're kind of in a state of paralysis, like there's not a whole lot going on these canvases, and yet there are these other people surrounding him that seem to be taking up his time and his attention. I kind of get the feeling with this card that your person is somebody who honestly cares a lot about your input, a lot about your opinion on things. And I sense that there is a desire to be more vulnerable here. And yet at the same time, there is this very strong fear on your person's end of rejection, of not feeling as though they are enough. And I see it with Vanity as well. This is telling me that your person, I think that your person may have some sort of warped perspective when it comes to what it is that you might value. And I sense that they don't feel as though they are enough, or that they have enough to offer you. But in spite of this, pile one, the calling that they have to come toward you is much more strong, is much stronger than the thoughts that are kind of going around in their head currently. This person is recognizing that there is no running away from or avoiding something that is destined to be. And I get the feeling with this completion card, I get the feeling that your person feels very strongly as though you are the one, or like there's like that's the end game. You are the end game. You are the one that they could see themselves spending a life with. It feels like if we look at these two images, we have faith and discovery, and the same person is in both of these images. And I sense that this person feels as though something within them has awoken, and their heart space, they didn't realize that they could feel as deeply as they do for you or for anyone. And I sense that this is something that is kind of opening their eyes to how they see themselves and discovering who they truly are. And I think that is going to take some time, this self-discovery, this realization. But there's also this underlying message of this person knowing that you are the end goal. This connection is the end goal. There may be things that this person is being required to work on within themselves currently, but you are the end goal. That's what I'm seeing. Let's go ahead and get you some advice. Pile 1. What advice is there for pile 1? What is it that pile 1 needs to hear when it comes to this connection? What is it that they need to hear currently, Spirit? Okay. So we have balance. It says, love is not always about agreeing just for the sake of it. A great relationship is one that both supports and challenges. Let's get 2 more, please. Okay, well, let's see. So we have, the past is now behind you. Release it and embrace new possibilities. A new path is now available to you. Follow it with faith. And we also have time. You are trying too hard. Give it time. And forgiveness. Stop focusing your energy on past events, for life is too precious to waste. You create your reality by what you think, dream, and imagine. And then the bottom of the deck is new beginning. A new adventure awaits. Embrace it and live your dreams passionately. So I think that your guides, especially if it resonated with you that you are feeling very concerned or feeling very impatient about where this connection is leading, there's this message here from your guides that patience is something that will really help yield the results that you are wanting. There's also a really strong message here about the past. And I kind of wonder if for some of you, what is kind of holding this connection from moving forward back is potentially not letting go of the past, or potentially keeping the same expectations that you have held on others or on this person or on yourself, holding those so strongly and rigidly that it's very difficult for things to change. So there's also a message here of being open-minded. But obviously take these as they resonate for you first and foremost. But that's what I'm seeing for you guys today, pile 1. Thank you so much for letting me read for you. If you'd like to book a personal reading, you can do so in my Etsy shop. The link is in the description box of this video. And I hope that I will have another opportunity to read for you again sometime soon. Bye! Hi pile 2, and welcome to your reading. We're looking into your person's current feelings, and the cards that you've chosen are going to give us a little bit of insight into what the current energy between the two of you is, just so that I'll have a better idea of what's going on, and you'll know whether or not this is your pile. If this doesn't sound like you and your person, I would suggest checking out another pile. There also might not be a message here for you today, and that's okay as well. But yeah, so to start, when it comes to what is currently going on between the two of you, we have balance, number 24. We have the lost domain. We have potential. And we have bear. Okay. So what is currently happening between the two of you? So pile 2, this feels like it's a connection that is very comfortable. Like I sense that the two of you have really found a lot of comfort in one another, but at the same time it feels like the both of you may have realized, or one of you may have realized, that you guys are in your comfort zone. You're not being challenged very much anymore individually. I kind of get the feeling that this connection might be one that allows the both of you to not have to be challenged, or to not have to feel uncomfortable in that process of growing. I kind of feel like this may be a connection that is more so long term. It doesn't have to be, but like the vibe, since it is so comfortable, makes me feel as though it is. But I feel like the two of you may have lost part of your own individual identities from this connection. And I sense that the two of you are currently at a point in this connection where you're recognizing that something needs to change. Something needs to change in order for the both of you to find parts of yourself that perhaps were silenced or were kind of shut off in order for, I don't even want to say in order for this connection to grow. It feels more so like in order for both of you or one of you to not have to necessarily deal with there's avoidance here of other things. Like this connection is something that the two of you have realized is a way to avoid other things that make you uncomfortable but are necessary for your own happiness or your own personal development. And I sense that the two of you are now in a place where you are realizing and actualizing the potential that you perhaps have held back within yourself. So like I feel like you may have seen all of this potential within you, or you may have all of these ideas or these dreams that have never actually been actualized. And I sense that now is the time in which the both of you are trying to bring this into reality. I kind of wonder if perhaps you are a little bit more resistant to this. Like I feel like it's going to be different for all of you when it comes to how these changes in your relationship are presenting themselves. I think for some of you, the two of you may be going your separate ways. And this would also obviously be something that you guys have already discussed. It's something that like you're very well aware of. It doesn't have to be something as drastic as that, but I sense that your person has really become aware that they've been kind of sleeping on themselves, or that they perhaps have let you sleep on yourself. And I sense that you might be a little bit more resistant to this, or you might be where your person might be coming across as all or nothing. You may be more so trying to find a way in which to navigate the things that you need to navigate through that you've been avoiding, while at the same time maintaining this connection in some capacity. I do think it's interesting that in this image we have two bears here, and then we also have the bear here. And how I had pulled these cards was that this card here, this balance card, was representative of you, and the bear card was representative of them. And so the message that's kind of coming through because of this is that this bear is just one bear, right? And then in your card there's two bears. And I feel like because of that, that's where I'm getting this energy of you potentially wanting to maintain this connection while at the same time. And I don't necessarily even know if your person is like trying to walk away from this connection. But I think that their priorities are shifting, whereas your priorities are also shifting, but you also have a stronger, at least from your understanding or from your perception, you feel as though you have a stronger desire to still put energy towards the two of you as well. Trying to see if there's anything that I feel as though I've missed. I think that there may be some fear here. Like, obviously it feels like this is a scary time, or a time where there's a lot of unknown aspects. And it feels like there may be a lot of anxiety because of that. But that's what I'm seeing for the current energy. So if that resonated, if that sounds like you and your person, let's go ahead and get tarot. And we'll look into how your person is currently feeling. Okay, that was a terrible shuffle. Okay, Spirit, we're looking into pile two's person. These cards are so big. This is one of my favorite decks, though. Okay, what are pile two's person's current feelings towards pile two? So we have the Knight of Pentacles. What are pile two's person's current feelings towards pile two? Their current feelings, Spirit. We have the Nine of Swords. Definitely picked up on that anxiety. What are their current feelings towards pile two? We have the Page of Pentacles. We have Death. Okay, and then bottom of the deck is the Five of Cups. Okay, so we'll go ahead and we'll look into this first, and then we'll get more for clarity if we need to. What are their current feelings? I think that, you know, like I said earlier, it felt as though you may be concerned, or you may be under the impression that you are more focused on this connection than they are. And I don't necessarily feel as though that's the case. This person still has a lot of really strong feelings here. And there's a lot of concern and worry about what is to come. They're very much so afraid. I think both of where their path is leading them, as well as where this connection is headed. But it feels like this is something that they can no longer ignore. Like this is something that is calling to them on a soul level. There's a recognition here on your person's end that this connection is one that really has given them so many gifts, right? Like this is such a blessing. This connection has been such a blessing. And I feel as though for a lot of you, it continues to be a huge blessing. But when it comes to other areas of their life, they feel very much so unfulfilled. And I don't necessarily mean it in a way in which you are not fulfilling their needs. And not only that, but like it's impossible for one person to fulfill another person's entire needs. Like it's much healthier for there to be multiple relationships of different kinds in a person's life, because no person can meet the needs of another person completely. So it's not that. It feels more so like when it comes to how they feel about themselves, how they see themselves, they don't feel complete. They don't feel whole. And because of this, they don't feel like, I feel like this is something that they recognize needs to be addressed. What I do think is interesting, though, is that with this Page of Pentacles, this is the card that's kind of giving me this idea that they're not feeling whole. They don't feel all that put together, right? But then what comes right after the Page of Pentacles is the Knight of Pentacles. And I feel like your person, like what this is telling me is that even though there are all of these feelings of needing to grow or needing to expand, there's still a future-oriented mindset when it comes to this connection. Like, this person wants to work on themselves, yes. This person has other areas of their life that they need to tend to, but they are in no way feeling as though that they don't feel as though what they're going through, what they're working on, is solely for themselves. Like they have the goal is to transform and evolve in a way that they can show up more authentically and genuinely for you and for themselves. But I do think that there's a lot of concern here. Like, while there's this desire and while there are these intentions to move forward in their own goals, while at the same time maintaining this connection, I also get the feeling that they don't feel very confident in perhaps how you're feeling or perhaps how you are reacting to this. With this Five of Cups being the bottom of the deck energy, there's a lot of sadness here. And I think that the majority of this sadness comes from not seeing the bigger picture on one or both of your ends. But let's keep going. Why is the Knight of Pentacles here? Please clarify this Knight of Pentacles further. Knight of Pentacles, Spirit. Okay, so we have the Hanged Man and we have the Three of Swords reversed. The Nine of Swords, please. We have the Tower. Page of Pentacles. We have the Nine of Wands, and then Death, please. We have the Queen of Swords. Bottom of the deck is the Ace of Swords. Yeah, so what these cards are telling me is that this person doesn't have any intention for this to be the end of your connection. There's no intention here for there to be some sort of dead end. There's a lot of concern here that what they need to do is going to be the cause of this connection crumbling. And I think that may be through a misinterpretation or a misunderstanding between the two of you. But they have no intention of like walking away. And I think that this is something that they really want you to understand. Like, when I'm looking at this Nine of Wands, like the first thing that comes to mind is that they don't feel as though they're not ready to give up on this connection, right? But then in this particular image, I see praying hands, like pleading hands. And I feel like there's a lot of desire here to be accepted for where they are at currently. But I feel like it's very important to mention, especially with this Queen of Swords here, that if this is something that you are not wanting, like if you were to give this person an ultimatum, pile two, this person would continue to listen to what their soul and their highest self is telling them to do, and they would choose to continue on this transformation without you. They don't want to, but if you drew a line, that's something that would happen. They feel very much so clear-headed and sure of the direction that they need to take. And they truly are wanting a fresh start within this transformation. Let's see if there's anything that I missed. We'll go ahead and get some oracles. Is there anything that I missed when it comes to pile two's person and how they're feeling? We have facade. We have service. Acceptance. release. And on the bottom of the deck we have mysticism. Yeah, this is telling me that, and then underneath that we have complacency. I feel like this person has not been authentic to themselves in some capacity. It could be that they have not listened to their calling. So this could be like a career change of some kind. But I feel like it's gone on long enough, is how I'm kind of perceiving this. Like it's gone on long enough that they have not been true to themselves. And they're understanding that like nothing more can come. Like where perhaps in the past being inauthentic was something that actually provided a benefit of some kind to them. Like perhaps it was a survival tactic, or perhaps it was something that there was a purpose behind what they were doing, whether they understood what they were doing or not. And it feels like they have come to the realization that it's no longer serving them. This tactic is no longer serving them, and it's something that needs to be released. It's something that needs to be let go of. A part of them as like, if I envision them as a plant, parts of the leaves, parts of the plant have died. And they're doing some pruning. And I feel like it's very important, like what I'm getting from these cards, these oracles in particular, is that it's very important from their perspective for you to understand, for you to know that this has nothing to do with the feelings that they have for you, or the level of importance that they have placed on this connection, and everything to do with them and them honoring themselves and loving themselves enough to listen to what it is that their heart and their soul is telling them to do. That's what I'm seeing for you guys, pile 2. Let's go ahead and get you some advice. What is it that pile 2 needs to hear? Okay. We have secret admirer. Someone has deeper feelings for you than they are letting on. That's interesting. I feel like perhaps for some of you, this person has not shared with you how this, like, I feel like there's, like I said, a misunderstanding that's happening here. And if you've been under the impression that this person is no longer has any desire for you, or no longer cares for you, or is over this, that's not the case. And then we also have, when it comes to matters of the heart, there is no right or wrong. Every choice you make expands your understanding of life and love. Okay, I want to get one more. One more, please, Spirit. What advice is there for... Okay, and then we also have forgiveness. Stop focusing your energy on past events, for life is too precious to waste. You create your reality by what you think, dream, and imagine. There's definitely a message here of, especially if you feel or you've found yourself needing to be in control in some way, like whether or not this is you kind of like spying on them, or going through their social media, or things like that, where you're kind of invading this person's space. And there's no judgment or anything. It's more so like, if there is this feeling or this desire on your end to need to do things like that in order to feel as though you're in control, in order to feel safe in knowing what's to come next, there's a message here of really needing to release that, or show that part of yourself some compassion, some understanding, and also recognize that your person also deserves to show themselves some compassion and understanding. And there's no right or wrong way for this person or for you to go about this. Like, it's important to listen to what your soul and what your heart are calling you to do as well, to be authentic to yourself. If this is something that is not giving you what it is that you need anymore, if it's not bringing you fulfillment in the place that it is, it's important to listen to that. Yeah, let's see what's on the bottom of the deck. It says, when you pass from this world, you take nothing with you but your soul and the memories you have shared with those you love. That's beautiful. There's definitely a message here of, I almost feel like there's a message here of, if you're replaying things, it's important to remember the positive things, especially if you're finding yourself in a really negative place currently. But that's what I'm seeing for you guys today, pile 2. Please know that I'm always sending you nothing but love, and I'm wishing you nothing but the best, always, always, always. If you'd like to book a private reading with me, you can do so in my Etsy shop. I have the link to that in the description box of this video. I also put it in the comment section. If you haven't done so already, please consider subscribing to my channel. Yeah, and I hope that I will have another chance to read for you guys again soon. Bye! Hi pile 3, and welcome to your reading. We're looking into your person's current feelings, and how we're going to do that is we're first going to look at the current energy surrounding the two of you. This will give me a better understanding of what's going on, of what's coming through, and you'll have a better understanding of whether or not this is your pile. So if this does not sound like you and your person, I would suggest checking out another pile. There might not be a message here for you today. Not every video is going to have a message for you, and that's okay as well. But let's go ahead and get started. So first we have number 29, protected. We also have Revelation's call. We have love. And we have the Panther. Okay, so what's currently going on between the two of you? Okay. So the vibe that I'm getting, pile 3, is that this is a connection that may have not had clarity for quite some time in terms of how the other person was feeling. I sense that you are somebody who has known for quite some time what it is that you feel, what it is that you see in terms of like where this connection is heading. And I don't think that this person has really been as open in the past with you as you have been with them, or as you have been with yourself about how it is that you're feeling. And yet at the same time, I feel like intuitively you have thought that there has been a truth about this connection that really had no physical what's the word? Like there weren't any clues or hints to this truth. It was just something that you felt intuitively. And I feel like that's finally coming into fruition. It's something that you're realizing your intuition was spot on about. And it feels like it's something positive, pile 3. It doesn't feel like it's something negative. I get the feeling that you may have been really under the impression intuitively that this was a connection that has been divinely guided, and things weren't happening in the way in which you had desired, simply because there was divine intervention here. And it feels like this guidance that you were picking up on is finally kind of coming together. So what I'm kind of sensing is that like for instance, if this was like a situationship type thing, or this was a friends with benefits type thing, I feel like in the recent past, your person has come forward revealing much deeper feelings, or like it feels like part of your connection has been destroyed for something new to be, like the structure of your connection, or the depth of your connection. Like there's the foundation of it, something that was like really being like the guiding factor in this connection, the ruling thing in this connection has been destroyed, and there's something new in its place. And this feels like deeper feelings. This feels like growth, taking this connection to the next level. And I sense that this was something that may have been very difficult for your person to kind of dive into, but it was up to them to make it happen, because it feels like they were the ones with the boundaries that needed to be destroyed, or the walls that needed to be knocked down. But it feels like the two of you definitely are in agreement and in alignment with one another's feelings, with where it is that you hope this connection will go. And it doesn't have to be a connection that was like a friends with benefits thing. It could be that this is a very long-term, loving, committed connection, but it feels like the two of you are on the same page about something now that in the past you were not. And it's in a positive light. So if that has resonated, pile 3, let's go ahead and look into how your person is currently feeling toward you. Okay, Spirit, we're looking into pile 3 and their person. How is pile 3's person currently feeling? What are their truest feelings? Pile 3's person. Okay, so we have the Queen of Cups, the 3 of Swords. We have the Fool. How is pile 3's person currently feeling, Spirit? And we have the Ace of Pentacles. And then on the bottom of the deck, we have the 4 of Cups. Okay. I feel like your person feels as though they have made the right decision. There was a lot of fear, and I think there still is a lot of fear of being hurt in some way, being harmed in some way, having their heart broken, or potentially hurting you, which is always, you know, we're human beings. We have the potential to do that. We're not perfect. Relationships aren't always going to be on the same page. And I think that this person is somewhat proud of themselves, almost like they're proud of themselves for taking the opportunity that at one point they were denying for themselves, because there's this opportunity now for so much growth to happen, so much transformation to happen. I feel as though they are feeling really hopeful of the future of this connection. There's a lot of excitement, there's a lot of joy, and there's a lot of trust that there's a lot of beautiful things to come. I would say that they feel very optimistic, and their heart space is definitely open. There's a lot of care here, there's a lot of love, there's a lot of gentleness here on your person's end. And I think that there's also an amount of confidence that this person has gained from having spoken up, from having stepped outside of their comfort zone. Why is the Queen of Cups here? Let's clarify the Queen of Cups. So we have the 3 of Wands and the 3 of Swords, please. Why is the 3 of Swords here? Please clarify. Please clarify the 3 of Swords, Spirit. How does this person feel towards pile 3? Please clarify. We have the 5 of Swords, yeah. The Fool. We have the 8 of Cups and the Ace of Pentacles, please. We have Strength and the 10 of Pentacles. Okay. Beautiful. I feel like this person is kind of basking in the glory of what they have just done, of taking this connection further in some way. They see a long future here. This is somebody who sees something long term with you, pile 3. They see that there's this opportunity. They're feeling very optimistic, and this opportunity that they see is one that lasts all the way. Like it comes full circle. They feel as though they can build something with you. They feel as though they can really lay down some roots with you. And I think that this is something, I feel as though they feel like the connection that the two of you share is one that has provided them the opportunity to heal parts of themselves. And it's something that has made them incredibly happy, and it's made them feel incredibly free. They feel like the biggest message coming through is that this person feels really, I get the feeling that they feel as though they've honored themselves in the truest way possible. Whereas in the past, they may have been somebody who understood what it was that they were feeling, but always allowed their past wounds to get in the way and prevent them from acting on their truth, their authenticity. And it feels like there is this release that has happened, and they're finally living their truth. They're no longer letting their fears be the deciding factor in their life. Let's keep going. We'll go ahead and we'll get some oracles. Is there anything that I've missed when it comes to how pile 3's person is feeling? So we have impartiality. How is pile 3's person feeling? We have insecurity and release coming out at the same time. Okay. Oh, okay. And then we have grief. How is this person feeling? And we have gossip. Interesting. Bottom of the deck is self-worth. Yes. Yes, yes, yes. Okay. There's been a perspective shift. How this person sees themselves is different now. And I think it's because of this connection. I think that they, for a long time, did not see the gifts that they can bring to the world. And it feels like they've begun to recognize that being able to feel, being able to show up for others, being able to show others who you truly are has the opportunity to provide you with a lot of feelings, some of them painful, some of them joyful, but at the end of the day, it's worth it. Whereas in the past, I feel like they acted as though they didn't care. And I also feel like they're understanding that, like, if they didn't make some changes, they would have never had the opportunity to see how meaningful you are to them. Like, there would have always been a what if. And I think this person realizes that they deserve love and happiness just as much as you do. And it's only themselves who have been getting in their way of that. Yeah, that's what I'm seeing. It's a pretty cut and dry message. Let's go ahead and get you guys some advice. Is there any advice for pile 3 when it comes to this connection? So it says, when it comes to matters of the heart, there is no right or wrong. Every choice you make expands your understanding of life and love. We have power. You instinctively know what is right for you, and you have the power to say no or to walk away at any time. And we have healing. Imagine yourself and your beloved surrounded by light. Feel your relationship being healed this very moment. And then bottom of the deck is, you may not always understand why certain things happen. However, there is always a higher purpose to the events in your life. Through turmoil, a blessing will soon be revealed. Okay. That is what I'm seeing for you guys today, pile 3. Thank you so much for giving me this chance to read for you. If you would like to book a private reading with me, you can do so in my Etsy shop. Also, if you haven't subscribed already, please consider subscribing to my channel. It would help my channel grow. And I would love to see you in another reading. But please know I'm always wishing you guys nothing but the best, and I'm sending you guys so much love. Bye, Pile 3. Hi, Pile 4, and welcome to your reading. So we're looking into your person's feelings. And before we get into that, we're going to look into the current energy surrounding the two of you, so I'll better understand what's currently happening. I'll have just a better understanding overall of what's going on. And you'll also have more understanding of whether or not this is your pile. So if this doesn't sound like you and your person, I would suggest checking out another pile. But let's go ahead and get started. So we have number 46, boundaries. We also have frequency of light. We have gateway. We have change. And we also have unicorn. Okay. So what is currently happening here? This is interesting energy. It's kind of enigmatic. It's kind of confusing to me. I'm not gonna lie, but I'm gonna do my best to articulate what I'm sensing. There's a lot of different scenarios that I'm seeing here, Pile 4. I sense that for a lot of you, there is travel or long distance. There's an actual distance between the two of you. There's this there's something keeping you guys apart physically. I'm also kind of getting the vibe for some of you that this could be a connection with somebody that you've never met before. Like, you don't know who this person is, but you feel them on their way to you. Another thing that's coming through is that there could be a move happening. And I sent but for the two of you, for both of you, or there's this desire on one of your ends to move, to make some changes. And yet I sense that there's whatever's happening here, it feels as though you feel like you are kind of being pushed away, or you don't have access to this person, or you've been cut off in some way. Like, you don't feel them in the same way in which you used to for a lot of you, but not for all of you. But it does feel like you feel as though there is some sort of boundary, whether or not that's a physical boundary or an emotional boundary or a spiritual boundary. You feel as though there's something cutting you off from experiencing this connection frequently. I would even say that for a small portion of you, if you're watching this video for whatever reason because you're wanting to know about someone who has passed on, that's kind of something that I'm getting to. It feels like the two of you are not there's been a change in your connection, and for all of you, I feel like you are sensing this as a really profound change, something that has completely altered your connection entirely, whereas your person seems to feel as though, or seems to have the perception that the energy between the two of you is the same, but its appearance has changed. Its appearance has transformed. I feel like your person is somebody who is currently really getting in touch with their highest self, or with their spirituality, or they're working on themselves in some way that's really, really profound. And I sense that you feel as though you can't reach them. But this feels like a soul level connection. Definitely there's a really strong connection here. Yeah. These cards have kind of thrown me for a loop, but that's kind of, and I think that's there's a reason behind that, right? Like it feels as though maybe you've been thrown for a loop, or there's something happening that I just can't quite put my finger on, pile 4. It's elusive, it's evasive, it's mysterious. Yeah. If that resonates in some capacity, sorry, that's like so, I don't know, not clear. Sorry about that, pile of 4. I did my best. I'm interested in knowing what is going on in this connection. Please let me know in the comments, because I'd love some clarity. Okay, so we're looking into pile 4 and their person, spirit. Okay, how is pile 4's person currently feeling about pile 4? So we have the Ace of Wands, we have the 4 of Wands. What are their current feelings? Okay, we have the Devil. We have the Queen of Pentacles. And bottom of the deck we have Death. I'm actually going to clarify for the other piles. I didn't do this. I first read the cards that I pulled and then I did clarifiers, but I'm going to get clarifiers right now. Why is the Ace of Wands here? Okay, we have the Page of Pentacles and the 4 of Pentacles. Why is the 4 of Wands here, Spirit? How does pile 4's person currently feel? We have the Emperor. Why is the Devil here? We have the 3 of Swords. And why is the Queen of Pentacles here? We have the 6 of Swords. And then bottom of the deck again, we have the 6 of Pentacles. Okay. So there's like a really strong message here of attachment, like of how attachment is causing some suffering within this connection, is what I'm seeing. I sense that your person sees a new opportunity for the two of you. Your person sees a lot of hope and optimism for this connection, or feels inspired in some capacity. And I get the feeling that they feel as though this excitement, this light that they found is almost being extinguished, or like the two of you aren't on the same page when it comes to what this opportunity means. And I sense that they feel as though you are holding on to something, holding on to them, or holding on to what it is that what your idea of like your connection was going to look like. And it's, from their perspective, they feel as though it's creating some stagnancy. They feel very sure of what it is that they want. I think for a lot of you who resonated with like the idea of like you having to go through some sort of move, or there being long distance, I feel like your person feels very much so empowered with the place that they are currently in, or they feel empowered by the idea of the two of you moving in together. There's something here indicating that this person feels very good about where they are at in life, and I feel like they're not necessarily, I feel like they feel as though you are not going with the flow on this. And it's causing unnecessary heartbreak for the both of you. And of course, keep in mind that, like, I am only reading what is said in the cards. This doesn't have to be the truth, right? Like, this is their perspective. These are their emotions. I feel like this person is determined to accept the change that has transpired, whatever that change may be for you both. And I feel like they're hoping you come with them, or they're hoping that you set aside what is causing you discomfort, what is causing you hurt, in order for you to find peace. But I feel like this is very hard for me to read. They feel like the changes that have happened, that have taken place, are ones that are being divinely guided. It was meant to happen the way that it has happened, and they're hoping that you can find some acceptance in that too, because there's a gift here that I feel like your person feels as though you're not seeing. There's like opportunity, there's positivity, there's something that you're not seeing because you're holding on to something for dear life. And I feel like there's this message here with the Six of Pentacles that like, if this is a romantic connection of some kind, your person wants you to know that, like, the feelings are mutual and they want to give you as much as you are giving, and like vice versa. This is really interesting. I kind of want to get another tarot deck, in all honesty. Which one do I want to get? Actually, let's get this deck out. The Psychic Tarot. What am I not seeing, Spirit? How it is that they're feeling? We have Destiny. Deception and envy. We have third eye chakra, and we have number 5, obstacles and challenges. Bottom of the deck is conflict and defeat. Okay, so this is the message that's coming through. I feel like they're seeing 2 different ways that the both of you are approaching this connection currently, where they are kind of approaching this and they are seeing this as something where if they take that leap of faith, they will be successful, right? Like, there's this message here of, like, they feel this obstacle, they feel these challenges that are happening between the two of you, or within this connection, and yet they feel as though they're approaching this very much so from an open-minded perspective, because they feel very much so, like, they feel very strongly as though the path that they are on is one that they are meant to be on. And I feel like they feel as though you are meant to be on this path with them too. And I feel like they're seeing you as someone who is approaching it much differently, where they've gone up the stairs and now are taking that leap of faith. You've turned around and are going back down and have already accepted defeat. And I feel like they may feel, with this deception and envy, they may feel a little bit let down in some way, or they may feel as though there's nothing that they can do for you to see the truth of what is happening. But there's something that is happening within yourself that is causing illusions from their perspective. And they're wanting you to find clarity. They're in this space of like listening to their intuition, of trusting, and they don't feel as though you have the same amount of trust. And it could very well be that they feel somewhat abandoned in some capacity, or that they have abandoned you, they've left you behind, but also you've left them behind. I don't know. Very confusing. Let's continue. What else, Spirit? Okay, we have forgiveness. So we have gossip. We have forgiveness. We have victim. We have perception and instinct. Bottom of the deck is facade. I think that this person feels somewhat hurt, or they feel as though you feel hurt. And I sense that their perspective on this has shifted. They've released whatever resentments they may have had. They've released whatever resentments they may have had towards themselves for not being true to themselves in the past. But it just feels like there's something that you're not necessarily seeing that they wish that you would see. And it feels like it's something that cannot be forced on you. But there's like a really strong desire here. Like there's a hope on your person's end that you will shift your perspective, and see the potential of the future. See the potential of what it is that you're not seeing currently. I'm sorry that was so cryptic. Confused me. But let's go ahead and get you some advice. What advice is there? The past is now behind you. Release it and embrace new possibilities. A new path is now available to you. Follow it with faith. Yeah, like I feel like there's this new path and it seems scary, right? This 5 right here with like the gap in the bridge. But this person's turned its back and is going back to the past, and there's nothing there anymore. What advice is there for pile 4, Spirit? What advice is there for pile 4? So we have healing. Imagine yourself and your beloved surrounded by light. Feel your relationship being healed in this very moment. That's really interesting, because we had, what was the oracle that came through? Let me see. So we had frequency of light, right? And then we have this Ace of Wands, and then I keep being drawn to this candle here that's at the bottom of the stairs. And I feel like your person has seen the light and realized this is the path to go. This is the path that's needed in order for healing to happen. Whereas that's the advice. Imagine yourself and your beloved surrounded by light. Feel your relationship being healed in this very moment. One more, please. And we have balance. Love is not always about agreeing just for the sake of it. A great relationship is one that both supports and challenges. And we have emotions are a necessary and natural part of life, but they can also distort your perception and cloud your vision. In order to see things clearly, you must let go of resentment. All right, pile 4. Well, that is what I'm seeing for you today. Thank you so much for letting me read for you guys. If you haven't done so already, please consider subscribing. It would help my channel out a lot. And I would love to have another opportunity to read for you. If you'd like to book a private reading with me, you can do so in my Etsy shop. And please know that I am always sending you so much love, pile 4, and I'm always wishing you nothing but the best. Bye!